This is a collection of stories about opening paranormal doorways. A production of Consciously Evolving Enterprises. Documented by R.D. Brassington. Introduction title: Opening Paranormal Doorways. A new series in horror and paranormal activity, true stories collected from 1982 to 2025. Many cases still ongoing and with many stories yet to be documented. For those parents and children seeking answers, I hope these documented stories told by those who are bold enough to share them with help in some way, shape or form. Okay, so this is a series of true short stories where we have been exploring the scary paranormal happenings caused by unfortunate domestic events in the family home. These are all freaky stories of survival in a domestic violent haunted home, from the memories of people that with lived experiences and have been kind enough to share their events and stories with us. Some seeking to find a common connection to verify the truth, others tell their truth to find healing, to heal that inner child. And reconcile with a past long avoided, push away and shut down. With true tales they open the door where shadows linger and nightmares, memories, fragmented memories of a former life lived as a child, and the real life monsters are the parents we are meant to love in that family home. A true warning for those about to engage in this series: the following stories involves people sharing awful past childhood abuse within the family home and how they survived the demonic forces by invoking entities of their own, conquered up from the call to help, any force to assist, to help them live, to live another day, to live through such tragic situations, to learn ways to survive, prays to bring forth an ability to thrive in the hostile environment of the family home. A child's hostility, fear and hate are energies that brought forth entities of darkness, and their pain allowed them access into this realm. Their sorrow feed those forces they invoked by a child. The will of a child wanting protection had awoken the unknown that still haunt their adult life and are still forces of destruction. I begin this exploration knowing I am writing about a past that I've willed into the darkest voids and placed personalities as protectors at the gates of each traumatic life event. Each personality created stands for its purpose: to prevent and protect this child from further harm. But it just wasn't possible for such a little frame and only the strength of a child to protect this small boy from the pain and torment that will come to be. Each and every moment of abuse stained the brain of its victim, and survival was to split into something new, split from the pain, split away from the knowledge of such pain, to escape myself and the violence in everyday life, to become a gangster-like boy that is more of a man protecting the broken child within, to grow a personality with a feminine charm to gain admiration, to take insults and humiliation and turn these things into another personality of humorous resilience, to let each personality to come into the light within every life event and challenging conundrum. A true difficulty comes to revisit these events of trauma, hauntings, abuse in the family home. I imagine the events and experiences writing will be hard to hear, surprising to most and shocking to others. However, please know I do not write my past trauma for any such shock factors. If anything, I empathize to the life you are about read about. I would not wish these memories upon anyone not in physical life or in a biography of personal memories. So often I tell such a past with an alter ego, a humor of someone past the pain of such a past. But truth be told, I know this is one personality of many, and if I am to find that small child that was hurt from evil humans, hidden in the dark dimensions in a sea of alter egos on an island of imagined dreams and nightmares, there is a small broken little boy, just a child lost alone, afraid of a world only his alter egos have come to know. So on this exploration we each through each story that have created another personality on a search for that small boy who has been alone for so long he has forgotten his own name. Trigger warning for all people. Gusto and resilience even to those who continue to read, watch, listen. Just remember to inhale and exhale. It may be true, but it is not happening to you right here, right now. However, if you feel a change in the air, or you think you hear a whisper, a shadow from the corner of your eye, a creeper sneaking around with a silent breeze crawling up your out wall towards your window, fear is creeping in. If you have a sense of an ominous tone, one that sinks into your guts and vibrates to your bones, if you feel a sudden and overwhelming feeling, you are not alone. Please take a pause. Say your loving praise of protection. Then as best you can, grab sage or herbal incense or smoldering gum leaves. Burn a bowl of pot purvey if you must. Use what you can to cleanse the entire house, including each corner, spouting words to the trespasser: this is a place of love and it needs to leave. With these words said out loud and letting the feeling of love fill you within until your every cell is radiating this emotion from the body. It is now you then use all you have to give with love. You cast that fucker out. Remember, it has no power over you, for they slash it are the clustered molecules of universal dust, fragmented memories. Seeking a last moment in the light with hopes to survive, This is why they / entity has come to you as a collective brought forth with the consistent thought of ones whose past, memories, longing, regret, sent out as thought into rippling echoes surfing the waves of the universe, until now when a part of them, something that once was just a fractal memory in an ocean of stars has returned, simply by the sustained thoughts of ones no longer living. Such things the mortal mind not meant for such sights and sounds, and therefore the brain falls to dismay, confusion as the boundaries of the impossible become all too real, in unsure one could break or ever worst become immersed in other worlds and lose that one tether connection to this earthly plane, cut, like a birthing umbilical cord, never to be reattached, lost, floating alone in a world only you believe exists, chasing ghosts or becoming one in the process. Using your abilities of love to give love to hold in the fondest if only one lasting glimpse into a moment of love, past or current, let it fill up your heart, your skin, the hairs on your body as this feeling vibrates through your soul and to the outer, filling the room and bouncing back from each wall, door and floor space. Say it aloud, say it proud, and tell that ghostly bodied entity to fuck off. Say your words loud. I love, I receive love, I am loved. You do not belong here. Say it over and over it and again if you feel you must. Continue until you feel it leave, and you will. You will feel it leave, knowing the moment comes naturally. Instant change happens with something somehow, like the universe just corrected itself, and that intensity in your life seems lifted, enlightened by relief. The feelings of renewed faith empower the spirit to embrace love as it is, change where it happens for the better, and courage to face the challenges that are yet to come. That silent white noise is suddenly not there, and all sound falls to life surrounding, a sense of release, relief followed with a natural sigh expelled in the direction of the entity's exit, a gust of nature's cleansing air, and all those hairs once on end for what seemed an eternity finally fall and come to rest, air now breathable within your chest. You'll know the rest best yourself, if ever it won't be never, as even you will find one day like all others, coincidences happen in acts that become all too common to be reasoned as random acts. Unsure if it is of God's willing path led by fate or the universe collapsing with you at its center, help, a conversation with a mate, anonymous support, just reach out from the place that you find you're within, call anyone, start a story with someone who'll listen with time and intent. Phone 131114, call these guys 24/7 and pretend they are your lifelong best friend, and you need to fill them in on spirits, being spirited, finding the ground after you flew too close to the sun, whatever it may be. Don't suffer alone, someone somewhere truly cares and has you in their thoughts. Exiting an entity and event, difficulties may accrue and or come from the host. The host might be unwilling to give up attachment, has feelings of passion towards the entity, has had prolonged engagement with such forces or paranormal entities. On accession, where house items have been recorded moving on their own with no trickery, this can be narrowed down to the family members of the house unknowingly and or unwittingly using telekinesis, though emotional channeling, impulse and or reaction to stress, or stress-induced episode where plates go flying from the cupboards, glass smashing, items thrown about. This being non-intentional, the person will become frightened and create a looping effect until the emotion and the energy of such vibrations have become dispersed. On another note, if you think you are in an unhealthy relationship, your close friends will be telling you so. If you find you have no friends, the monster already has you isolated and alone. You need to run away, run far and fast, holding in your hands the things you call home. Go to the place you last felt loved and are safe behind locked doors. In 2024, there are 9 women killed by their partner, spouse or lover in NSW alone. Statistics range state to state, however, partner-caused death and suicide among remain the highest killer of Australians aged 12 years old to 42 years of age. Don't stay silent, find a way to safety, starting with a call to 000. You are not alone. Please click playlist for episodes 1 to 12. You're appreciated.